Question is always asked, especially from some of you who are members of the Order of the Fourth Way. You know, what's all this got to do with Jesus? What's it got to do with the teachings of the church? This model doesn't claim any sort of religious specificity. It's not trying to teach doctrine or tell people what to believe. It's saying, you know, the world outside me is as it is, and that may or may not include God. It depends on what your opinion is. The problem is within me. Jesus Christ did something that I can't do. He said yes. He said yes to himself in a very profound way. He said yes to others, and he said yes to God. It wasn't context specific. He actually had the power to bring the three parts of himself together to say that yes. The promissory notes that he issued didn't have, you know, the other parts of him taking the promissory note back. He actually did what I can't do. He was fully human. And I think sometimes we need to realize that, you know, if, you know, we are like God, being human is also being divine. That the more human I become, the more divine I become. Jesus was 100% fully human. And we call that in the Christian tradition to be like God and all God. I think one of the other things to realize is that how do we bring about some sort of telescoping and inner unity of our experience? I watched this guy the other day who drove past the church, and he made the sign of the cross, and then he checked out this woman's butt, and then I don't know, he was thinking maybe about what work he was going to do at university that night. That three different parts of him all doing different things, somehow looking for some sort of unity. I think the power of life is finding a unity between the three parts of ourselves. So we are free to be a person without quotation marks, to be the man and the woman that is fully human without quotation marks. See, a lot of things in life telescope experience and make you feel this sense of bringing it all together. You know, I'm sure that, you know, a boxer in a boxing match feels that the three centers are all engaged. I'm sure someone praying, you know, in some sort of religious intensity often feels that sense of, you know, his mind, his heart, his body all connecting in this enormous, intense experience. I'm sure some people, you know, that you know, the experience of sex and orgasm gives them this sense of, you know, bringing it all together, where attention is fully held by all parts of them in the task at hand. The problem is that that's only a resting state. For all of us, we can have these experiences where we feel this sense of inner unity and inner focus. But, you know, it's this experience of almost, you know, this activity. But when we get up and we live our daily lives, we lose it. How do you have that degree of intensity and liberty in our daily lives where we're not controlled by the context? You know that some of you know that I worked for a lot of years as an Episcopalian, an Anglican priest, you know, and I was always worried that people don't realize that, you know, whatever eternal life they're looking for, it starts in what's happening within you. What you make down here is the only thing that's possible to take somewhere else. What you make down here, what happens inside. The life is about the depths within. See, if I'm the boxer and I find that the only time I feel this inner sense of unity and having it all connected is when I'm in the boxing ring, I'll try to do that all the time. And that will be sort of like the high experience of my life. But we can't always maintain that. And there's a sense in which, you know, we can't be dependent on the externals throughout our lives to unify the inner. The external can't unify the internal. If I stand in front of a statue of some saint, and, you know, it's an enormous Baroque statue, I feel this sense of my life being, you know, telescoped and things becoming clear. But that's a mediated experience. We need to somehow find that level of unity in our living that happens through work within. It starts with working on ourselves.